Hey everybody, it's your girl Meek, and welcome to Meek Spot Online. I'm here with Noop and Rock, and they're going to tell us a recap of last night's fight night. Kevin, what happened?
Yeah, last night it was a very exciting boxing card on Showtime's pay-per-view. And
Who was
you
the
had
main event?
you had the main event was Javante Tank Davis versus Mario Barrios
Ooh.
for the 140 title. I believe that's the welterweight champion. That's the junior welterweight champion title. And it was a very exciting bout. It was everything that it was built up to be. And we had a couple of pre fights, which you call the undercard. You had Erickson Lubin was the co-main event, and you had it was who else? Lemonchenko, I believe he was on another channel, but he also had a fight that last night too, and he ended on the ninth round knockout.
Okay, for Lomachenko.
For Lemonchenko,
Mhm.
yes. And I think the body shot was the punch of the night last night.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah.
Body definitely
In
the
the,
punch of the night.
The co-main event, Erickson Lubin ended on the awesome vicious body shot in the 6th round. And as we were speaking about the main event, Javante Davis ended his on the awesome vicious 11th round body shot.
Okay.
And so and watching that main event, actually, like I said, it was all that was built up to be. It was very exciting in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that they were both filling each other out in the beginning. And I believe Tank was behind on, the first few rounds. He gave up a few rounds trying to, fill the guy out. But still, putting up a good competitive fight.
Oh, good.
And, but in the end, he got the job done.
All right.
Everything
Yeah, definitely did. He definitely did. And I think the transition from what I remember when Tank started to I guess really, put the press on him, so to speak, take like the fight close. And that transition changed between the 5th and 6th round, like when they got a little closer, and Tank like really, I think he hit him with a good solid left upstairs, and it looked like he didn't take that too well, and that was a good shot between the 5th and 6th round, and then it was just like, okay, then from there it was put the foot on the gas. Then I mean it was a good performance. I think Barrios got away from his game plan because he definitely did hit Tank with some good shots.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a bait or a setup by the by Tank's camp, but whatever the case was, he put a hell of a performance together, and he made I'm sure he opened up some eyes too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, Barrios, in the beginning stuck to his game plan. He used his jab, his reach, and he boxed a lot early on. And then, like you said, I don't know if it was a bait tactic, but it's almost like Tank took a lot out of Mayweather's book. You know how he gives up them first few rounds to fill out the opponent, and then he walk him down. He start, closing the gap once he can touch him more, and he start to feel that power. But he showed the warrior he was, because he took a lot of punches, and it was really no quit in him. He never really backed up.
So I know
Barrios, that is.
I know Tank is one of Floyd's proteges. How much style of Mayweather is in Tank's training, if any?
I would say more so the ring generalship, like as far as
using
knowing
your smarts,
right? The smarts, more so wear down your opponent, opposed to just brawling. Because we know he has the power, and he's boxing more, and using his jab and things like that. And I remember last night when we made the predictions, I think I said the 7th round,
and you said 10,
and I believe it was. Between the 5th and 6th round was when he started to touch him a little more, and I noticed that it was the 7th round that I noticed he really started to touch him. And in the 8th round, he knocked him down twice.
Right.
So that's when you really notice he was really starting to close the gap and, really starting to unleash his power on him.
Oh.
Upstairs and downstairs.
A key thing that we can say, well, what I can say is, damn, he has some power.
Look, the big question was, could he carry the weight? I mean, carry the power with the weight. And he definitely showed that he could.
So what would be his next step? Would he stay at that weight or go back to his original weight class? Like, where do you go from here after you gain the weight to fight that opponent? What do you do? Like, or does he just have a lot of options?
Well, like, I believe when I told you on our very first podcast that he's sitting at the top of the food chain right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got all these other guys that's, champions and top contenders, but it's just the banner that he's under that's going to allow him, again, like you said, have pretty much the options he wants, who he want to fight, when he want to fight, where he want to fight, what gloves he want to wear, where the venue going to be, and that's that's pretty much what they call the A side. When you the A side, the promotions and all that stuff is under your banner, so it's pretty. The ball is in his court, so to speak.
Now I know Canelo is. In his weight, he used to be the one to beat. Is Tank that person now?
Well, for that division, it's still a lot of, see, by him holding those multiple weight classes, those 3 division, weight classes, that allows him more options. So you got the likes of Teofimo Lopez at 135, which would be a good fight. You got the Crawfords at 147, which is one more weight class up, which I'm sure he eventually is going to try to capture another weight class. And it's just, like you said, he just has so many options right now. He's sitting at the top of the food chain right now.
Okay.
Actually seen an interview with Timo's camp, and I think Timo's camp is going to try to press that fight like like hell.
They want it next. Another payday.
Especially considering Lemachenko is also trying to get the rematch with Lopez, because that was an upset of the century, I would think. For him to beat Lemachenko the way he beat him, and to take all of his belts. This is Lopez that I'm talking about, Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, he goes back.
135, lightweight champion, and he's very crafty too. So that'll be a good fight. It's just in those weight classes between 147 and 130, it's just so much that can happen, because that allows those guys to go up couple of pounds to go up a weight class, come down a weight class, and it's just a lot of money fights to be made in those divisions.
Okay, Rock, you were saying something?
I'm sorry.
No, I was following up the same thing he said. I mean, he has a lot of options, and that's the key thing. I mean, like you can honestly say with, like, when you have these guys that hold multiple championships in different weight classes. I mean, you never know which way they're gonna go, but you can say that they're gonna fight we're gonna say they're gonna fight if this makes sense, they're gonna fight the biggest payday, easiest fight.
It's about the money.
Because it's always about the money. They usually ask that at the end of the fight. And I used to always say that the true champions say, line them up, whoever next. And then you get the one that say, well, you got to talk to whoever, and then whoever they say. But again, with him being under the promotion and management that he under, his only job is to knock them out. And that's what he said. You line them up, and I'll take them out.
And I did hear an interview where they asked, well, what's next after this fight? Of course, he couldn't foresee, what was going to happen in that fight, but he wasn't ready to look ahead yet. So he wasn't calling out any names. Right. He meaning Tank. But, I feel that he's open to anybody.
Well, like we said, though, Noop, too, what we said in our last show, style make fights.
And one thing I must say is that fight was everything it was built up to be. It wasn't a boring fight at all. It was definitely, a slugfest. and it was they showed good sportsmanship at the end. The boy ain't have no excuses. He ain't have no problem with the stoppage. You know, he said, I was willing to keep fighting, but I wouldn't quit on my stool and I wasn't going to go down. He said the ref had to stop it.
Yeah, I kind of liked him. I saw him on the All Access.
He
and
definitely
it seemed like a good.
He definitely upped his value also.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he put some good fights.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He hit Tank with it. He hit Tank with a huge left hand too, and it got Tank attention too.
Yeah, I was telling Meeky how he showed that he had a chin too, because he was hitting Tank with some stuff, and Tank, you know, he took it good.
He took it good. Yes, he did.
Be coming up in weight.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so the bottom line is keep your eyes out for that Tank.
All right.
He's ready for war.
And that's the bottom line. Thanks, fellas.
No
See you guys.
problem.
Oh, wait. What's upcoming in boxing? I'm sorry. Any upcoming fights that we should know about? I know this was a big one.
Well, again, I'm.
Oh, and J Rock, what happened to him?
Oh
Just
yeah,
give an
I'm
update.
sorry, I did leave my buddy J.
Before we go,
the Philly fighter who was scheduled to fight last night, I believe, on the undercard also, who had to back out due to a shoulder injury, I believe it was. And at the advice of his doctor, he decided not to fight.
So that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate because, you know, he was, you know, on his way up, and then Rosario stopped him, and here we are now, waiting to see when he'll fight again.
Yeah, because I think on this card too, there was basically like a tournament between him and the other guys on the
Yeah, it's an elimination, actually.
elimination. Yeah.
That's what that was last night. Rosario and Lubin was a part of that, and I believe he was going to fight his opponent to be a part of that elimination.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it didn't happen due to that injury. That can, you know, and that's what the commentator was saying. You know, well, you know, when will you be allotted that, you know, that opportunity again?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know, I'm just going to, you know, take it on the chin, no pun intended, and you know, just be ready whenever they call him. You know, call him back in. He said he's just going to stay in the gym and be ready when they call him again.
All right. Well, that'll be our bottom line, and I guess you guys will keep us updated.
Yes.
All right. See you guys.
See you, fellas.
All right.
Yeah.